Justin Trudeau is not a feminist. Justin Trudeau refused to condemn honor killings. Honor killings are murders usually practiced by Muslims, wherein a woman is killed by her family or community for supposedly bringing dishonor to her family or community through things like sexual promiscuity or rejecting Islam. Honor killings are directly contradictory to feminist principles. Feminism is supposed to be about maximum freedom for women and maintaining a society where women are free to be sexually promiscuous and free to adopt whatever ideology they want, including that Islam is bullshit, and also to do whatever else they want as long as they aren't infringing on someone else's liberty. There is absolutely no ambiguity whatsoever when judging honor killings from a feminist perspective. Justin Trudeau, therefore, is very clearly not a feminist. So what is going on here? There is something seriously awry here for Justin Trudeau to adopt two positions that are so blatantly contradictory. Is it just a coincidence that Justin Trudeau consistently agrees with the group of people who poses the greatest and most immediate threat of reacting violently or rationally, regardless of how these sides contradict from issue to issue? First siding with the often very outspoken and quick to protest / riot group that is modern feminists when contrasted with the average person who doesn't identify as a feminist. And second siding with the group that is known to actually kill people who insult their faith over the, in contrast, very peaceful and reasonable average non-Muslim in Canada. Is it possible that the most important factor when choosing a side for Justin Trudeau is not the merit of each side's position, but rather the threat of violence or irrationality that they pose? Because if that is what's going on, we already have a word for that. That's not some sort of respectable moral righteousness. That's called cowardice. Taking the side of those most willing to act irrationally or violently towards you at the expense of the side most willing to act rationally and react to their disagreements with you through argumentation, and prioritizing the threat this poses to you over the merit of their positions is one of the most clear-cut and despicable forms of cowardice that exists. A high level of civilization cannot be sustained if this cowardice prevails on a large scale, and I think it's pretty obvious why it can't. I think it's time we stop associating this blatant cowardice with some sort of moral courage and recognize it for what it is. Cowardice. Or, alternatively, there is another possibility outside of cowardice that it could be the case here. It's possible that Justin Trudeau and people who adopt similar positions just have such a basic, unrefined, simplistic approach to being empathetic that they simply fold to whoever cries the loudest, that they are unable to see nuance, and they simply believe that whoever claims to be the victim the most emotionally is the victim. And further, that their basic emotional reactions to these cries are not only acceptable, but are the ideal form of empathetic action. This is another clear problem that I think exists on a large scale in the world, this form of pseudo-empathy, whose practitioners are overly satisfied and content merely with acting with the intention of good, despite there being little to no substantial evidence or rationality supporting that their method of expressing their empathy is actually helpful in practice. With such little intellectual vigor applied to their supposed empathetic positions, questions have to be asked of the true nature of their supposedly heightened feelings of empathy. You could say it's the thought that counts, but surely to be satisfied to leave it at that is not a high level of thought. Either way, both of these possibilities that I've suggested suck dick and are completely unacceptable from someone in such a high position of power as Justin Trudeau is as Prime Minister of Canada. There are many great things about the way of life in Canada, but with such a high quality of life available, I think it can be easy to underestimate the level of courage and perseverance it takes to actually achieve such a high level of civilization. And if we don't realize this soon, we may be deeply fucked.